Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students, welcome back to this online lecture series of Hera English School Standard 9. In the last lecture, we had begun with chapter number 7, Energy Flow in an Ecosystem. And in that lecture, I had taught you about ecosystem, what is food chain, what is food web, how ecosystem and environment are related to each other. So in our today's lecture, we are going to talk about energy pyramid, trophic level. Then we'll also discuss about biogeochemical cycles. So let us start with the energy pyramid and the topic trophic level. Each level in this food chain is called as trophic level. A trophic level is the step at which the organism obtains its food in the chain. The amount of matter and energy gradually decreases from producers at lowest level to top consumers at the highest level. So if you can see in the diagram 7.3, here it shows different trophic level. So what is trophic level? As you can see in the statement, each level in the food chain is called as trophic level. So in the food chain, every level is termed as trophic level. So here in the diagram of 7.3, you can see at the very base is a level called as producer. We know what are producers? All the producers in the ecosystem are plants. Okay. Then comes the another level above producer, first trophic level, and it is called as herbivores. Herbivores are those group of organisms which eat plants. Okay. Herbivores eat plants. Then above herbivores is another level called as second trophic level, and here it consists of carnivores. So what are carnivores? Carnivores are those who eat herbivores. Alright, this was taught to you in the last lecture. And then at the top there comes third trophic level. Okay, and those consist of omnivores. Omnivores are those who eat carnivores as well as herbivores. Got it? So this is how the whole trophic level is distributed. So there are some scientists, let us read about them. Lindemann in the year 1942 studied the food chain and energy flow through it. Charles Elton, a British scientist, first proposed the concept of the ecological pyramid in 1927. After his study of the tundra ecosystem of the Bear Island in England, hence this pyramid is also called as Eltonian pyramid. Okay, the trophic level pyramid is also called as Eltonian pyramid. Now let us discuss about so if you see the next one, here. So in figure 7.4 shows energy transfer that take place at each trophic level. There are different levels of energy exchange which take place in food chain. Okay, the initial quantity of energy goes on decreasing at every energy level of energy exchange. Now in this part, what we are going to understand is how food which is get distributed from one level to another level. So how energy transfer take place. So the as it is mentioned, the initial quantity of energy, if you can see this line, goes on decreasing at every level of energy exchange. Fine. So this pattern of energy exchange in ecosystem is called a pyramid of energy. Fine. So here you can see in this diagram, figure 7.4, it shows us, make us understand how energy get exchanged. The very base level is called as phytoplanktons. Okay, these are the group of organisms, okay, which have about 10,000 kilocalorie of energy. When these phytoplanktons transfer their energy to zooplanktons, the another level above them, see how much energy get transferred. It is 1000 kilocalorie. And then zooplanktons transfer their energy to fishes. They get about 100 kilocalorie. And when the fishes transfer their energy to humans, it goes about 10 kilocalorie. So at every level the energy goes on decreasing. Okay, now see the paragraph. After the death of apex consumer, the energy becomes available to the decomposers. Fungi, another microorganism, decompose the bodies of dead animals. This was taught to you in the last lecture. And what they are called as? They are called as decomposers or saprophytes. So in the process of obtaining food from the remains of the organisms, decomposer convert them into simple carbon compounds. So what this line says? Decomposer convert them into simple carbon compounds. These substances easily mix with air, water and soil, from where they are again absorbed by plants and incorporated into the food chain. So the whatever energy transferred from one level to another level, when it goes at the last apex level, the top level, that whole nutrient given back to the soil, and soil give it to plants, and this is how the food chains energy move cyclically. Now you can see that due to the food web formed by various modes of nutrition, energy and various nutrients circulate continuously into the ecosystem. The sun is the most important source of energy in an ecosystem. This is a very important line. Sun is the most important source of energy in any ecosystem. Green plants of the ecosystem store some of the solar energy in the form of food. Before reaching the decomposers, this energy is passed from one trophic level to the next. Okay, decomposer dissipated some amount of energy in the form of heat, and no part of the energy ever returns to the sun. Hence, such passage of energy is referred to as one-way transfer. Give reason comes on this. Why the energy transfer is one way? So what you should remember in this, decomposers, when this energy is passed from one trophic level to the another, before reaching to the decomposer, when this energy transfer from one trophic level, so decomposer dissipate some amount of energy in the form of heat, and no part of energy returns to the sun. That's why the energy transfer is referred to as one way. Okay, this is what you should remember. Now moving ahead, if you want to understand further topic, that is biogeochemical cycle. Now let us understand the next topic in this chapter, biogeochemical cycle. Do the energy flow in an ecosystem is one way. Okay, just now we have understood about this. The flow of nutrient is cyclical. Okay, now this line is important. The flow of nutrients is cyclical. How? Let us understand. All organism needs nutrients for their growth. Study the various components in the figure given alongside and explain the biogeochemical cycle in your words. This is the activity given to you. You have to understand, see the diagram 7.5. Now here we can understand that cyclical flow of nutrients within an ecosystem is called biogeochemical cycle. So what is biogeochemical cycle? It's a cyclical flow of nutrients, okay, within an ecosystem. So this is called as biogeochemical cycle. See, so nutrients which are necessary for the growth of organism are continuously transferred from abiotic to biotic factor. Now this line says nutrients necessary for the growth of organism continuously transferred from abiotic to biotic factors. You know what are abiotic and biotic factors? Abiotic factors are non-living, biotic factors are living, and biotic to abiotic factors. So there is transfer in both the direction within an ecosystem. That's why this cycle operates continuously through the medium of the biosphere formed by lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere. Okay, so there are this different sphere in our environment: lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere. Lithosphere related to different layers of earth, atmosphere different layers of gases, hydrosphere of that of water. And the recycling of biological, geological and chemical sources of nutrient in this process is complex. Okay, and it depends upon the level of energy transfer in ecosystem. Fine. So the biogeochemical cycle, what you should remember about them is that cyclical flow of nutrients take place in a ecosystem or in any ecosystem, it's called as biogeochemical. So there is word biogeo. Bio relates to living things and geo relates to earth, and chemical, that is form of different gases and in the environment. So that is how they are interrelated to each other, and it's again cyclical. They are not one way, they are two way, biotic to abiotic and abiotic to biotic. So in both the direction they flow. Now in the next lecture we'll discuss about types of biogeochemical cycle. By the time you read this part what I have taught to you, inshallah in the next lecture we'll discuss